Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanma Vavatu Tad Vaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we are on the different sheets and we are on the last one. And the last verse that we did, it talked about Anandamaya Kosha, and we understood that, how all kind of Anand that we get in the world, uska bataya hai detail, Priya, Mod, Pramod and Anand and all that. And then it said that the uska jo pratishtha or its base or its foundation was Brahman. That's what we did last time. So now a very interesting topic is taken up, because obviously here they're talking about different students, right? So the students might have, what they're trying to do through these koshas are that they are trying to lead you to that Brahman, correct? So it's telling you to literally transcend the koshas, because in the beginning when we don't know anything about who we are, koi puchega who are you, so we always say my name is Uma, this, that, whatever body ka jo description hai na ki body se related, uske bare mein. Say no, go a little deeper. Then I realize I have a mind also. That, forget about the body. There's some entity in me. I cannot grasp it, but I'm thinking, so I'm a thinking person. Then it's telling you about, and then we know that we have all the energy body, jisko bolte hain, pranas are there. So mind is there, pranas are there, and then intellect is there, world of ideas and things like that. सबको transcend करते 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 फिर आनंदमय कोश तक पहुंच गए, the causal body, that okay, आनंद कहाँ से आता है? So, we understood that Anand is a reflection of that Brahman only. Okay? So, but वहाँ तक पहुँचो, अभी उसको भी transcend करने की बारी आई ना, तो there becomes like a little confusion in the student's head. Am I going in some nothingness? And it seems that Buddhism and all that, they just stopped at that. They did not talk about a positive entity called Brahman or God or Paramatma, nothing. They just stopped at that. So here, that's what is being kind of told to the students. What is being told in a very kind of tricky way, that if you don't believe in that Brahman, तो तुम असत में जीते हो, और अगर ब्रह्मन को तुम बिलीव करते हो, फेथ है, तो तुम वहां पहुंच जाओगे. ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि अगर कोई चीज में फेथ नहीं हो तो तुम ट्राई भी नहीं करोगे. कोई बोलेगा कि भाई ये चीज करो, और बोला नहीं, उसमें तुम नुक्स निकालोगे, आर्ग्यूमेंट्स दोगे और नहीं करोगे उसको, because you don't have faith in it. So keep that in mind, and then we can understand this verse. So the verse is asat eva sabhavati asat brahma iti ved chet asti brahma iti chet veda santam enam tat vidu iti tasya esha eva sharira atma ya purvasya. So this is not as big of a verse. So asat we know. Now we saw asat and asat, non-existence. Eva is truly, sa hi bhavati becomes. Asat non-existence, Brahma is, we know Brahman, iti thus. Veda is knows. Cheta is if. Asti as existent. Brahma again Brahman. Iti is thus. Chet is again if. Ved again means knows. Santam to be existent. Enam him. Tata then. Viduhu they consider. iti, thus. Tasya is of that, Esha is this, Eva is verily, Sharir Atma, the embodied soul. So यहाँ पर we know that Atma, it depends on what context you are saying. The higher thing is called the Atma. So then it's, like Vijnanamaya Kosha. It's the Atma of Manomaya Kosha, like that. Huh? So the embodied soul. Yah is who, Purvasya, of the former. So he's just saying that of this former Anandmaya Kosha, the self is the essence. So हमने देखा ना कि हर एक की आत्मा was a higher thing. So ये जो लास्ट वाला कोश है उसकी आत्मा क्या है? So वो ब्रह्मन है or essence of self. That's what they're trying to say. Huh? So now keeping that sat asat and all those what we learned in mind, मैं हिंदी का चलिए वर्ड ट्रांसलेशन है बट फिर भी थोड़ा सा आइडिया हो जाएगा. यदि कोई ब्रह्म के अस्तित्व को नहीं मानता तो वह स्वयं भी बिना अस्तित्व वाला हो जाता है. हाँ? वह असत में जीता है. यदि वो मानता है कि ब्रह्म का अस्तित्व है तो वह सत्य में जीता है. यह आनंद वाला वास्तव में पूरे समझ वाले का ही शरीर धारण किए हुए रूप है. मीन्स इट जस्ट सेइंग दैट वो उसका आत्मा है. ओके, सो what did they say in the last one? That the Anandmay Kosha, उसका जो आधार है, फाउंडेशन है, प्रतिष्ठा है, वो ब्रह्म है. सो ये हमने देखा लास्ट में. अभी डाउट ये आता है कि क्या सचमुच कोई आत्मा जैसी चीज है, मीन्स द फाइनल ब्रह्मन. बिकॉज ब्रह्मन कभी भी डिस्क्राइब करेंगे ना तो वो द सबस्ट्रेटम और अधिष्ठान विच इज सपोज टू बी द आनंद एंड ऑल दैट. We understood that the source is this, but this ब्रह्म का जो डिस्क्रिप्शन है ना वो और कहीं नहीं मिलेगा, सिर्फ उपनिषद में मिलता है. That's what it is. So और जितने भी लिटरेचर इंडिया में आए हैं बाकी वो सब उपनिषद से उन्होंने एक्सट्रैक्ट किया है उसको, ब्रह्मन और भगवान के बारे में टू दैट लेवल. हाँ, आगे. So how Brahman is indicated in the Upanishad as pure Sat, or Sat Swarup, which is Nirvikari. All the adjectives that we have learned, no modification, and it's pure. And there are about 30 words we learned in Bhagavad Gita. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we know what I'm trying to say. And we also learned that Brahman cannot be grasped with our senses. Mind cannot touch it. It is literally non-transactionable. उसको संस्कृत में बोलते हैं अव्यवहारिक. With you guys, I can transact, I can talk, but how do I do the vyavahar with Brahman? It's not possible. So that's why I think it's Osho's statement, you cannot see God, but you can be God. He says, just think about that. So I cannot transact. So, and then there are other words used, Shantam, Shivam, Amrutam, and all that. And then in Mandukya Upanishad, they said there are 3 states, but the 4th is the one that supports all, and that 4th is Brahman, right? So all that knowledge, you bring it out here. So now if Brahman is like that, then there is a huge possibility that a person might feel there is no such thing as Brahman. Some of those atheist scientists, they will say, proof kya hai? Batao. सब proof मांगते हैं, and वो proof दिया नहीं जा सकता physical world में. तो श्रद्धा चाहिए कि नहीं? You cannot show that. There are people who might just say that, hey, it's not there. And that's why they think, last time this question came up, why did Buddha not talk about God? Is it because he didn't believe in God? We don't know. Only Buddha can answer that. But one of the theory is Buddha knew that people are not going to understand. उपनिषद वाले जो है ना वो ठोक बोलते रहते जब तक खोपड़ी में घुसेगा नहीं बोलते जाएंगे. बुद्धा ने बोला why to go there? These guys are interested कि मैं खुश कैसे रहूं, हैप्पी कैसे रहूं, बैलेंस कैसे, वहां तक बात पहुंचाऊं, उसके बाद रहने दो उनको. That's one theory. Okay? So that's what it is. So there are, in fact, I have heard that this word Nastik came from, in the historical perspective, it came from the people who did not believe in Veda. जो वेदों की अथॉरिटी को नहीं मानते थे ना, उनको नास्तिक बोला जाता था. So और वेदों में क्या है कि ये ब्रह्म और धर्म के बारे में बताया. That's what Nikhilanand ji was explaining this, that when we talk about what is the topic of Veda, it is Brahma and Dharma. So they didn't want to believe in that. That's why, okay? Because Buddhists say world is an illusion, wo Buddhists bhi mante hain. But they just don't believe in this positive thing called Brahman, okay? So, but he was just saying that how the Advait Vedanta doesn't get disturbed by the multiplicity, because they say that it's just like ocean is there, millions of waves have come before, they are coming right now, and they'll continue to come. But ocean is one. There's no problem in understanding that. So they don't get disturbed by this multiplicity, okay? But some people, they don't want to go to this one entity that is changeless. They don't want to go in that. So that's how we have to look at it, okay? Because he was just reminding us that how when we talk about God or Brahman, from that highest perspective, that nothing else is there. This world is also a reflection of that Brahman only. Just like in the ocean, there is nothing else but H2O. It's a play of H2O together that creates these waves and all that with some wind and all. That's how you have to look at it. So he was just saying that how in the Vedas we have logic also, but some people just don't want to listen. They just want to believe that there was nothing there. And so if you believe that there is nothing, that's when you will not put an effort to get there. In the worldly things also we discussed, right? If I have a doubt about something, I will not put effort in there. If I believe that it is there, then I will put the effort. So people who don't believe, for them, it is as good as it's not there, and they live in that kind of mode. Everybody can understand that part, right? So that's what he's talking about. So he was just saying that denying your own presence, because your own presence is a proof that, there's something exists. So whichever way you want to look at it, So, and then let's see if there are some other points. And he was just saying that if with Shraddha you continue to study, like either Bhagavad Gita, Veda, Puranas, anything, Upanishads, then it starts becoming clear in your head. And I know that how everybody has a doubt. Is God there? People just talk about it, but where is the proof? I've not seen it. So much confusion is there. But as you study, it becomes clearer and clearer, and then your faith also increases, So the person who has faith will finally end up in that Sat. Because if that means you're going on the right path. वो एक और कहावत है बहुत अच्छी, ढूंढने से भगवान भी मिल जाता है. And I think that it is a famous words of Christ also. You ask and you get it. Or something like, I don't know the exact, here, Neeluji might know. You have to unmute. We can't hear you. Okay. Whenever you can unmute, you can interrupt. So there are those kind of statements are there by all great people, including, Christ.
Thou shalt seek and thou shalt receive.
There you go. So these were his exact words, thou shalt seek and ढूंढने से भगवान. So that's the point they are trying to tell over here, And then, of course, we have to, another very important thing he told, and which I discussed before, but I will mention it again, that he's talking about this Anand, right? Which is this Anandmay Kosha is there, and what is the base of it? What is the foundation? Where it's coming from is Brahman. So Brahman itself is Sat Chit Anand. It is happiness itself. So the force behind everything we do in life to seek that Anand. Remember we discussed that? Whatever we do in the world, कोई ये बोलता है कि मैं ये काम करूँ और मुझे पता है कि मैं बहुत दुखी हो जाऊंगा फिर भी मैं करूँगा. We don't. Somewhere in the वो चोर चोरी भी करता है ना तो आनंद के लिए करता है वो. चाहे गलत कर रहा हो मगर उसका उद्देश्य वही होता है कि मेरे को हैप्पीनेस मिले, मेरे को बहुत सारा सामान मिल जाएगा तो मेरे को बहुत खुशी मिलेगी. So this Anand is a motivator for us to even do karmas. And when we do the right kind of karma, we do get some Anand, but now we have learnt it very, very well, all of us in this class, from all different angles, including Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishad and commentary of the Swami, that Anand is coming from that Brahman only. There is no doubt about that. There is no other place that it is coming from, So this is what this verse is talking about, Sat and Asat. Same thing what Bhagwan said in Bhagavad Gita. They have taken up the topic here. Any question, comment? Anybody want to add anything on Sat Asat? ओके आप पढ़ेंगी पुष्पलता जी 1-2 पैराग्राफ अगर आपका मन हो तो
I will try.
ओके
The theory of...
एक मिनट कैन यू जस्ट रीड द इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेशन फर्स्ट इफ ही नोज ब्राह्मण
Oh, okay. If he knows Brahman as non-existent, he becomes himself non-existent. If he knows Brahman as existent, then the world knows him to be existent. Of the former Anandamaya Kosha, the self is the essence.
हाँ पर आगे जाइए go ahead.
Next, okay. The theory of transistence is explained so far should necessarily give the student a feeling that the truth indicated in Vedanta is a condition to be experienced as non-existence. All that we know of existence can be experienced either from the body or from the mind or from the intellect or at least as an inward glow of happiness. But the Rishi was laboring all along to explain to us all these instruments to us and he had been advising the transistence of each one of them.
So like we had mentioned earlier that what they are trying to do, because these koshas, this is the Upanishad that where it was mentioned first. जितने भी लोग पंचकोश की बात करते हैं वो यहीं से उनको मिला है, okay? पर उनका उद्देश्य यही था taking you to that Brahman through the journey, right? So they are saying, okay, start with the Annamaya Kosha, your body. You are not the body, go inwards, then you are not the... We talked about that. So then, whatever we understand in this world, we either grasp it by body or by mind or senses, bolo. Yeah, by mind I understand, or my ideas I understand. I also understand what is happiness. जरा सोचो कि किसी को बोलो ना happiness define करो, उसकी जबान लड़खड़ाने लगेगी. There are things like love and happiness. We don't know how to define that, but I feel it. Everybody feels it. Love, everybody feels happiness, but उसको definition देना बहुत मुश्किल है, right?
We are all happy.
Right now we are all happy, yes. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. So what they are trying to say, उसको बोलते हैं उसके भी पार जाओ. तो जैसे ही वो बोलते हैं ना उसके पार जाओ, तो लगता है कि शून्य में है कुछ. या कोई बोलते हैं आंख बंद करके ना मेडिटेट करो. You don't know what to meditate upon. आदमी घबरा जाता है. शून्य से सभी घबराते हैं, right? So that's what it is कि non-existent तक कोई सोचेगा non-existent में ले जा रहे हैं हमको. Okay.
When we remove all about identification with the body through the external sense object become nil to us. Certainly there are the feelings of the mind that exist wherein we can live. When the mind is also transcended, there is at least a world of ideas which we can capture and live in our intellect. When we transcend the intellect also, we may still live as the teacher explained in the glow of happiness in the casual body. But when even this is transcended, the goal that we can reach must certainly be a complete zero, a vacuum, an emptiness, a dull of daily non-existence in which all that we know of is negated. When all the instruments of experiences are transcended, we must necessarily reach a void which, as far as our intellect can understand today, in its calculation, must be zero, a non-existence, nothing less.
So same thing what I just said, that when you keep going, just एक word है Upanishad का neti neti. Deny this, deny this, deny this. Very good. But in the end you reach the शून्य. सब कुछ जो भी तुम जानते हो सबको नेगेट कर दो, तो डिप्रेस हो जाएगा आदमी. बोलेगा मैं जाऊं कहाँ पे? Like, why should I bother, right? To go to some nothingness and all that. That's what can happen. It's very dangerous if you don't believe in that Bhagwan. What can happen? Hey, it cannot be just nothingness. Some positive entity has to be there. That's what they're slowly trying to. But he's just saying that
the statues because of this positive skill. हम लोगों ने statue भी इसीलिए बनाया कि कुछ positive हमें लगे.
Yeah, it means it's easier to grasp those statue. But कोई ये सोचने लगे कि खाली statue में ही भगवान है तो सब problem.
नहीं है, लेकिन to make
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes. So, but there are people who said, do you ask them, hey, what is your spiritual? Oh, I just meditate. Hey, great. But if you don't understand the whole system, then even meditation will be not fruitful. I know of some people who got more agitated and depressed when they were meditating because they didn't know what to meditate upon. Just closing your eyes and just sitting quietly, yeah, it can give you a little shanti. There is some value to it, I'm not saying, but it's not going to give you a positive experience unless you learn about what it is and how to get there, That's what it is.
That watch, which has its own positive qualities, is called an extant thing. This watch on the table exists because I see it. I touch it. I can conceive of it, my watch, as my watch, and I have got an idea of its make or of it, the company that manufactured it. The watch is existent. But when I search for my horn, it is termed as non-existent. Since my sense organs cannot perceive it, neither can my mind feel it, nor can my intellect conceive of its presence. When none of the instruments of cognition can come to experience an object of the workday world, we term it as non-existent.
So here Swamiji is defining that what is non-existent in what we understand as non-existent is something which it is not there and I cannot grasp it. It's like horn on my head. Obviously it's not there, so that's non-existent for me. But whatever I can see and things like that, it is existent. So he's just giving you a little more detail. I think people get very confused about all this asat and asat. So he's telling you different aspects of sat and asat. Okay, so in this paragraph you can even look at it as manifest and unmanifest. You can look at it both ways. Something that will never exist ever, both are non-existent hai, but if something which I cannot grasp with my senses also is a non-existent for me. That way also you can look at it. Okay, if somebody else wants to read, because it's a very long, so I don't want to stress one person.
I can read.
Oh, you want to read more?
I can read.
Okay, go ahead.
I can read Amaji.
Okay, maybe one more paragraph you read, Pushpalata ji, and then Naresh ji can. Yeah.
The believers in Astveda.
No, it's Asatvada. Asatvad is जो असतवाद जो असत को मानते हैं.
अच्छा. The believers in Asatvad, a group of Buddhists, have come to claim that non-existence is the truth, since they pursued exclusively the path of negating everything. In the
cognizable. Cognizable means to understand something. Cognize, recognize.
World of objects. They declared, therefore, that non-existence exists. The religion of non-existence through the generation out into the speed, animal life of atheist values of uncreated, the society with the Lapute.
Okay, I will read this sentence. It's a very, there are so many words. You know, अगर स्वामी जी का commentary पढ़ने में एक और भी फायदा है, English language एकदम polish हो जाती है. You know, so this is what, sorry, क्या कहा आपने पुष्पलता जी?
मैं तो first time पढ़ा, मैं तो पढ़ती ही नहीं.
I know, बहुत अच्छा किया. This is very good. This is how I started too. Believe me.
बहुत, लेकिन मतलब pronounce करने नहीं पड़ती.
I know, अभी आप करेंगे ना तो आपको habit हो जाएगी. So इसमें लिखा है the religion.
आंखों से पढ़ती हूँ, पूरा पढ़ती हूँ. Okay.
हाँ, कोई बात नहीं. The religion of non-existence threw the generation out into an insipid animal of atheistic values and ulcerated the society with its leprous sensuousness. I think Swami ji was... Huh? Leprous, you know, leprosy ho jati. Oh God, he's very strong. Itna leprosy. I think he was very much against, you know, not believing in Brahman. That's how we have to look at it. Because I think जो हमारा उपनिषद और वेदों का जो ज्ञान है ना, उसमें this सच्चित आनंद is the most powerful statement. और हमारी सारी जर्नी ही उसी तरफ है. How to get that सच्चित आनंद. और उसको ही तुमने डिनाई कर दिया तो आधा सत्य हो गया कि नहीं. That's what he was against. It's not like I'm not saying anything against any religion. किसी को atheist बनना है वो भी ठीक है, वो उसकी मर्जी. लेकिन हम लोग ये पढ़ रहे हैं तो वो पढ़ रहे हैं कि हमारे उपनिषद में it's a very important thing. You know, that positive entity that we're talking about, there are, and he was telling the dangers of not reaching to the highest. Well, then little knowledge is a dangerous thing. You know, so you can have other problems if you don't know the whole truth. That's what I think he was trying. Just we'll leave it at that. You know, okay. हाँ पढ़िए नरेश जी. हाँ sorry. Yeah.
1 minute. You know, the non-existence in Buddhist is the Brahman in ours. It's the same. Not the non-existence. The silence in Buddhist is the same as the as Brahman in ours. It's
Right.
the same.
They in fact, somebody...
They don't say anything. They keep quiet at that point.
See, this is what it is. If you go to the die-hard Buddhist people, they will tell you Buddhism को भी उन्होंने 6 पता नहीं कितने सेक्ट में डिवाइड कर रखा है. Okay?
Yeah, that's
तो
true.
उसमें जो है ना, एक सेक्ट होएगा वो एकदम नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट वाला होगा, वो डाई हार्ड. उसको आप बोलोगे कि ब्रह्मन इज द सेम, वो बोलेगा नहीं. I'm just saying. So maybe he's talking about those. So, you know, we don't know, but what you are saying, I've heard the same thing कि actually सर्वप्रियानंद जी ने बोला कि जिसको वो शून्य बोलते हैं ना, हम लोग उसको पूर्ण बोलते हैं.
Exactly. That's
So
right.
I think but I think that when Swamiji was writing his commentary, there were a lot of people coming and arguing with him and doing all that. So when he wrote this commentary so many years ago, whatever, 30, 40 years ago, maybe there was some group of people who were like die-hard, non-existent wale, pata nahi, ho sakta hai. But for our understanding, just let's look at it this way, कि अगर हम लोग ने अपना सच्चित आनंद निकाल दिया तो पूरा आधार ही निकाल दिया उसका. So we have to stick to it. That okay, they are telling you to transcend all these koshas, but where is it leading to? It's leading to some positive thing. That's what he's telling us. Okay.
And to me, it was like shunya, even to accept that. The consciousness has to exist there, even to accept.
Now you are saying all the right thing, but those die-hard people will say, नहीं वहाँ तो कुछ है ही नहीं, उसके बाद शून्य में रहो बस. You know?
How do you know it's shunya? How do you know it?
आप उनसे आर्ग्यू करके देखो, वो लोग आपको the sun until sun goes down, they will argue with you. This is not worth it. Then just say, okay बाबा तुम शून्य को पसंद करते हो, शून्य को गले लगाओ, वहीं रहो बस, कोई बात नहीं. You know, just leave it at that. Yeah.
This mantra clearly indicates that an individual who realizes that the supreme goal is non-existent, he, during his meditation, comes to realize only the non-existence. Thereby, he becomes a sad, negative personality and not a positive, divine God-man.
So he's just telling you the danger of it. You know, like we were saying, अच्छा हम लोग भी ऐसे सोचेंगे, अच्छा सब कुछ ट्रांसेंड कर लिया, अब एकदम वॉइड और शून्य में बैठ जाओ तो मज़ा ही नहीं आ रहा है क्या करेंगे वहाँ. लाइक किसी ने बोला कि ओके इफ यू डोंट बिलीव इन री इनकारनेशन और सम अदर लाइफ एंड ऑल दैट, सो देन यू नो आफ्टर यू डाई फिर भगवान जज करेंगे तुमको कि भाई तुमने गलत किया, अच्छा किया, तुम्हारा पल्ला कौन सा भारी है, बहुत सारे गंदे काम किए जाओ हेल में, तुम बहुत सारे अच्छे काम किए जाओ हेवन में. तो क्या वहाँ इटर्नल लाइफ वहीं हो जाएगी स्वर्ग में डांस देखते जाओ या हेल में बैठ के यू नो क्या बोलते हैं कि कोड़े खाते जाओ. इज दैट गोना बी इटर्नल लाइफ? डोंट मेक एनी सेंस, राइट? सो दैट्स अप टू यू नाउ. You know, like God did not send us over here just so that we can either go to hell and heaven and that's the end of it. No intellectual person will accept that, you know. But that's, I don't know who believes in all that. Let them be alone. Okay, we go with this, what Swamiji is saying. Yeah.
Shankaracharya, arguing against this misinterpretation, very lovingly and tenderly takes up the logic of the Asatvadins and declares that they are at the gates of the truth, refusing to go in and experience the positive dynamism of the Supreme Essence in themselves. Shankaracharya says that there is a palpable contradiction when they declare that non-existence exists. There is a cry that they have experienced non-existence in their supreme transcendental anubhava. Since they have experienced the non-existence, there must be a positive consciousness, an existent entity that illuminated the state of non-existence. That existent dynamic factor is the truth which illuminated at the time of complete cessation of all the sheaths. The natural state of non-existence, meaning the non-existence of the ordinarily known objects that are knowable only through the sheaths, which are all objects of these various sheaths.
I tell you, Swamiji is trying very hard to make us understand so much. Okay, so he's saying that just like you are saying, Meenaji, there's a misunderstanding. Because the Buddha probably didn't mean that way. Buddha just decided not to go in that arena, that, you know, because maybe people won't understand. Whatever his logic was at that time, I don't know. So now he's just saying that कितना अच्छे से इन्होंने बताया, शंकराचार्य जी ने इनको interpret किया. Because remember, Shankaracharya ji is the one who said Vedas have to come back. Because Vedas have a lot of value, because at a point had come that people had stopped indulging in Vedic things and they were turning into all the different other Buddhism and all that. So he's saying that Veda also have a tremendous value. But here is the way he's explaining these people who are totally want to live in that shunya, they are at the gates of the truth, refusing to go in. बस मैं इसी में खुश हूँ. Right? It's like somebody saying, okay, you take a trip to reach this particular goal and वहाँ पर बहुत अच्छा है, ये है, वो है, and that person start driving and then it comes to a point, नहीं मुझे इसी में बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है, I don't want to go even further. Hey, how do you know? Maybe there are 10 times better thing, right? You just satisfy in that much only. That's what he's trying to say. No, don't wait there. Listen to your guru and go further. And then he's saying that वो लोग खुद ही contradict करते हैं. They said, oh, शून्य है, शून्य exists, so their contradiction हो गया कि नहीं? Non-existent exist. So they are confused in their own. But what he's trying to say over here is, just like we said, there's a positive consciousness, an existent entity that exists, that illuminates the state of non-existence. Because it, from our perspective, deep sleep is the best example. I don't know anything about deep sleep, but I know I experienced it. Everybody knows, because we feel, oh, today I slept very well. I feel so refreshed. How do we know? Because there is an entity above it which knows. That's why you know it. That's how. This is the best way to understand it. And all is saying that when somebody says something is non-existent, all it means is that my 5 senses cannot grasp it. उसको मैंने बोलते हैं ना कि सत्य मेरे को दिखाओ सत्य है. कोई बोलेगा कि भाई सूर्य उसमें डूब रहा है पानी में, कोई बच्चा को बोलेगा नहीं नहीं पानी में नहीं डूब रहा है, वो नहीं मानेगा तुम्हारी बात। तो मैं आंखों से देख रहा हूँ पानी में जा रहा है, तो फिर पानी में जाता है वो। तो उसके लिए थोड़ा हायर सेल्फ, कॉन्टेम्पलेटिव सेल्फ चाहिए, वैसे ही इस ट्रूथ को भी समझने के लिए थोड़ा हायर कॉन्टेम्पलेटिव सेल्फ चाहिए।
Vedanta is not a negative philosophy. Its strength lies in its positivity, and it leads man away from his present confusions and misunderstandings and ushers him into God, which is then experienced there as a positive existence. Without the assertion of positive qualities of Godhead, with the mere negation of delusory beliefs in ourselves, the sadhana as explained in Vedanta is not complete. Curing the symptoms of a disease is not in itself is the end of a treatment. The treatment ends only after the convalescence, which the patient positively regains his lost health and gets established in the enjoyment of his entire energy and vitality. Removing hunger is not the fulfillment of eating, but it must give to the eater the positive happiness of fullness and comfort.
Okay, so here he gave in a very worldly example, that how just if you do half the thing, it does not feel fulfilled and happy. And then he gave the example that if you're sick, okay, you cure your illness, but regain your health also. You should become like before, strong and vital. And then even food, okay, you remove the hunger, but he should feel happy and satisfied. तभी वो उसको मजा आएगा ना. उसको एकदम कुछ गंदा सा खाना दे दोगे, he's not going to feel satisfied with it. So here in Vedanta, something very positive, something very tremendous is waiting after that negation. Okay, that's what he's trying to tell us. So I think we'll stop here because it's a lot more and it's already 12:30. But all these things we can churn upon before we go further. But वो सत असत का इससे बेटर एनालिसिस मैंने कहीं नहीं देखा, जो स्वामी जी ने इतना अच्छे से सब हर एक पॉइंट कवर किया है उसके लिए,
मुझे इतना छोटा श्लोक था और इतनी उसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन थी, उन्होंने 6 पेज की।
Yes. और तभी हमारे दिमाग में घुसेगा वो, when we kind of look at it from every angle.
Keep hearing it again and again.
Yeah, exactly. These things have to be read so many times. और first 1 or 2 time में कुछ नहीं खोपड़ी में घुसता है, फिर उसको करते जाओ and kind of think about it, then you understand, okay, now I see what he's saying, takes time. Yeah. Any comment, any question, any other thing?
Yeah, I had a comment. So I was just thinking about when you talk about Gnostic. So I was a Gnostic. So how did I convert to Astic? So there are miracles that happen to you that converts you to Astic.
True.
In fact, after that happened, I asked the question and they said, yeah, that is to convert you into Astic. So once you start seeing those, then you change. So is it true for everybody, or they just born this way, or
I think
different for different people?
The way, this is how I look at it, and people can comment on it. The way I look at it, that you have the spark, you have the quest, you have something that you want to achieve, or find out who God is. So this is one method of doing Shraddha in you. And I'm watching that show, Chosen, about Jesus. Jesus did the same thing. He selected these 12 people, उसको जो 12 उनके जो ये था ना, क्या बोलते हैं, apostles जो भी बोलते हैं उनको, जिन्होंने वो बाइबल वगैरह लिखी, उनमें ना श्रद्धा का बीज था. They believed in him, but they didn't understand everything else. But Jesus did not cure their problems, but he cured other people. जैसे कि कोई बीमार है उसको ठीक कर दिया, कोई मरा हुआ है उसको जिंदा कर दिया, ऐसे किया. तो these people were like, उनकी श्रद्धा बढ़ती गई. Oh my God, he is God's man. He is God's man. But then they are questioning, hey, why are you not doing this to me? And he's saying, you have to go through that pain to rise above it. I'm just doing that to bring the astha in them. So it's not like he wants to interfere in people's, karmic thing, but sometimes they use that as a tool to increase the astha in you. That's how I look at it. It's a tool.
And maybe a time comes when you start doing that. because
Start doing that. Start doing what?
like I started believing after the age of 56.
Yeah, it can happen anytime.
So
I
that I
mean,
question everything.
yes, and actually, Swamiji, Chinmayanand ji said, actually, Nastic people are not really. Most of them are not Nastic. They just have questions. Somebody
they
needs to be
want to-
there. They want to know.
Proof.
Yeah.
Proof. They want to prove.
They want some proof. They want some answers, and sometimes where you will get the answer from, we don't know, because God is too big. So many methods are there. Because I go to Hare Krishna so many times on Sundays in the evening, I go, so I'm kind of learning about Prabhupada ji and them, and a lot of these people who are here, who are in their literally 70s, and some of them may be touching 80 now also. They told us that how when they were teenagers, they had so many questions, and nobody could satisfy their curiosity. Neither their parents, not the pastor, not the church, then somehow somebody gave them a Gita or talk. They went into a lecture, and it suddenly tube light. Oh wow! Now this makes sense. That's how they got drawn into it, right? So
Because I remember I went to this Sri Mandir and Ganeshi was drinking milk.
right. That time it had happened, and some people believe that it happened
He said,
because
"He
yes,
cannot drink milk." But he did.
you saw it, right? Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I couldn't prove it.
Yeah, there's there was one book in my house somebody gave me, or maybe I bought it. It was about Satya Sai Baba. वो miracles करते थे ना बहुत सारे. तो some people used to just caught up in the miracle Baba and all that. So उनके जो चेले थे ना, उन्होंने पूछा कि आप ऐसा क्यों करते हो? तो बोला कि मैं इसलिए करता हूँ कि पहले मैं उनको वो देता हूँ जो वो चाहते हैं, फिर वो मेरे पास आएंगे, फिर मैं उनको दूंगा जो मैं चाहता हूँ उनको देना. Spirituality, and there was one fellow who was like क्या बोलते हैं इसको, जो stones वगैरह को स्टडी करते हैं, उसको क्या बोलते हैं इंग्लिश में? There is I'm not getting the word, the science, huh?
Gemologist.
Huh?
Gemologist.
Yeah, gemologist, या एक और word है कोई जो who study the earth and their material and all that, इनको नाम whatever, some specialized scientist. तो वो गया उनके पास, but he was a Nastic, right? So he goes there and he said, मैं जाके देखता हूँ कि प्रश्न पूछूंगा. तो उन्होंने he was asking about God and this and that. So all he did was he picked up one stone from the ground. This was Satya Sai Baba, and he said, what is this? So he said, stone. So then he, with his whatever siddhis that he had, he converted it into some kind of candy. And he told them, eat it. So बड़ा hesitate कर रहा था, अभी तो stone उठाया, अभी बोला इसको खाओ. तो उसने खाया, and it was sweet and it was a candy. So he said, how did that happen? उसका तो दिमाग ही चकरा गया, तो उन्होंने वो दूसरा stone उठाया और रखा, बोला, what is this? So he said, stone. Then he said, what is it made of? तो उसने अपना साइंस का सारा लगा दिया उसमें, is made of this phosphorus, is made of this, जो भी उसको न्यू. Okay, no, go further. What is made of? Go further. End में वो atom तक पहुंच गया. हाँ, तो फिर बोला कि उसके पीछे क्या है? तो he said, I don't know. और उसने और भी आगे बोला, the empty space is there, neutrons are there. He said, what is beyond that? So he said, God is beyond that. So उसको सिखाया कि भाई.
I saw him create this vibhuti next to me.
Yes.
I mean, when I went there in not Puttaparthi, but Whitefield, and I was sitting there, and then he came, and then it came out of his hand. I mean, I could see it.
So he has.
Now people may say, oh, we don't see and it cannot happen.
Right, you saw it, yeah. And this was an account by this fellow, this scientist. उसके बाद तो वो भक्त बन गया, but he understood. But he was just increasing his faith that, hey, there is something beyond this world, a positive entity, and try to learn about it, And some people might still don't believe after this, then what can you do? So that's what it is. Yeah.
But once you get convinced that way, then nobody can turn you around.
Exactly, because that is your own shraddha and own faith. It's like we used to say in our study group, ऐसे पहले when we came to the study group, we didn't know God है या नहीं है, फिर पढ़ते गए, बोले अभी हमारा faith इतना strong हो गया है, कोई नींद में से भी उठा के बोलेगा भगवान है या नहीं, वो है. Nobody can, चाहे मारो चाहे काटो, you're not going to change that because you have so much believed in it now. That's what.
I was thinking of that lady, that Anita Murjani, who died and who came back, and she gave a talk on this TED Talk. She said it's like going in a warehouse and you see lighted warehouse, everything is there, and then you have a torch, you go in a place, you see an item, but you know other item exists.
Exists, exactly, yeah.
So you really realize that, and that keeps your faith.
So, Anita Murjani is just one case, and now because of internet and because of so much, connection between the world and passing information to each other, there are hundreds of people who have experienced. Hundreds. And now पहले तो वो लोग डर के मारे बोलते नहीं थे, क्योंकि उनके पेरेंट्स को बोले या किसी फ्रेंड को बोला तो बोलते पागल हो गया, gone crazy or has a schizophrenia, listening to voice, कुछ भी बोलेंगे, So now that they have their own group and society and people are listening, and even so when you hear their account, some of them are complete Gnostics. They never heard of reincarnation. They were like die-hard Christians, which, certain kind of sect that don't believe in all this. That's how they were raised. And when they experienced this thing, consciousness and the world beyond this thing, they completely transformed. And they said, I don't care about this religion or that religion. I know these are the facts because this is something. And there are credible people who came out.
I can understand that because for 20 years, I go to these parties and I'm not allowed to talk anything. And because
they think that you are just making it up or something. Exactly. So that's why
they make fun of me.
Exactly. They'll make fun. Oh yes. Oh, there are people like that. Oh, ये सब dakiyan. Even Gita ke bare mein. Not everybody has a Shraddha. Not every Indian has a Shraddha.
We also didn't know at that time.
Yeah. So if you
I'm learning even now so much. I mean, I have read Gita, heard Gita, all that stuff, but this is really going in detail.
Yes, and that's how I felt. I felt that, there's so much to learn. And Chinmayanand ji ke, one of the greatest thing happened that he could speak in English and the language of those people, and he could explain in the scientific manner and all that. And after you hear, you can't deny, because sometimes when I'm dealing with 15, 16-year-old in my class, when you tell them from the scientific perspective and you give them the arguments, then they start believing in it. But change and changeless and all those screen and the movie and everything, then they also accept it.
There's so many topics. So every time I'm answering some question in Quora, I go to my chat GPT and I say, in this Gita, in this chapter, what did he say exactly? And they come out with the exact chapter verse.
Oh, yes. So information is out there. And even in the Hare Krishna, there we may think that they just dance and sing and eat food. That's first thing they tell you is go read Bhagavad Gita. They keep handing it out and, through all that dancing and all, unka purpose यही है कि तुम जाके पढ़ो और समझो और जानो कृष्ण भगवान को. They go more into the bhakti mode, but even their thing is that go study Bhagavatam, go study Bhagavad Gita, because that's where you're going to get information about everything, So, but other things are more, some people may just get caught up into that. Oh, these guys are just, bunch of people who just wear bhagwa clothes and then they keep jumping up and down. No, they are a lot more deeper than that, So, Naresh, you have something?
Even the jumping requires a lot of faith and conviction. You don't just jump.
And they are in ecstasy. You can see that. The other people may be looking at them with some wonder. वो अपने मस्ती में.
Those people who dance at the airport, you look at their eyes.
Yes, they are in bliss.
The devotion.
Yes, absolutely. So we have to recognize that.
Is so shy, jumping on the airport.
Oh, they are here in Pacific Beach. We live here, right, close to the mandir. And now they started. I have not gone. But their devotees and all, they started going to the beach. They said they will start a procession at 5 and we will be jumping and dancing and all that. And they are not shy about it at all. They are very happy to express themselves, and whoever connects, come to me. That's how they say, look at it. Yeah. Okay, so we will continue. Any other point anybody has?
Hari Om, everyone.
Hari Om, and I'm glad. I thought only 3-4 people are going to come, but I'm happy if so many came. Okay. Hari Om. We'll see you
Why
next
aren't
time.
you watching the Republican convention?
Who, me?
No, I mean everybody is not coming because they.
Oh, no. I don't think so. But in our house, because of our son, he watches everything. I get the glimpse.
To the prayer and conclude the session.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't do that. Yes. Thank you, Niluji. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Okay, now I can end it. Hari Om.
Okay.
No, that shot that Trump got, that was divine.
Oh, so these Hare Krishna people are saying that unhone 48 years ago, he had given a permission for the Rath Yatra and all that. Did you hear that? Did you know?
He is very religious that way, from India point of view.
So he said that he gave the permission for them. Everybody, सबने भगा दिया उनको, Hare Krishna वालों को. जब ही शुरू हुआ था movement, so they went to him and he said, okay, मेरे yard में तुम बना सकते हो रथ. So,
This was supposed to change him, because
Who
he's
knows?
the only one who can unite the country.
I'm not for or against anybody like right now.
No,
I don't want to
I
start
know.
that topic. But anyway, I'm just saying that what I heard about.
Because I was watching that, and it cannot be. This has to be divine. I mean, to move your head. I mean, this is.
अगर जरा सा भी इधर से उधर होता, I mean, जो बोला जिसको राखे साइयां मार सके न कोई.
Moved at the right time. I mean, that's the point. Because it was going to go through him, but he just changed the head, which is.
उसका time नहीं आया था अभी. It's as simple as that.
I know, but this is all recorded. So you cannot make a better scenario.
Yeah, we saw what happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hari Om,
Hari
everyone.
Om.
No.